Murphy is officially back. I mean, he did have a very long hiatus where we kind of just didn't really see him. And now he's back. So that doesn't matter anymore. I would say over the past 5 years, he's given us Dolomite Is My Name, Coming to America, which we won't really talk about, and You People. We all can't get them all right. But no harm, no foul. He has 4 new projects in the works, rumored to come out. He has publicly speaking about or is shooting in production, and I'm just like here for them all. So, starting with Axel Foley. So, Beverly Hills Cop is coming out with their 4th installment, and this one's called Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley. And obviously, it centers on the Detroit Lion coat wearing Smart Aleck cop that goes to Beverly Hills from the first one to avenge a friend's death. What's cool about Beverly Hills Cop, like this one, is that yes, it's like 30 years since number 3 came out, and also about to be 40 years since the original one came out. So we're gonna ignore the fact that this sequel is very, very, very overdue, and we're just gonna celebrate that it's coming out. Or you don't. I mean, choice is yours. So you can't have Beverly Hills Cop without at least another. I mean, I guess you could have Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley without any of the original. But why would you? You know what I'm saying? So with this Beverly Hills Cop, we're going to get kind of the original trio, which is Axel Foley, John Taggart, and Billy Rosewood. They're all coming back. Judge Reynolds is coming back as Billy Rosewood, John Ashton as John Taggart. Paul Reiser, who is Axel's Detroit partner, Jeffrey Friedman, is also coming back. And Bronson Pinchot is returning as Surge. So that's pretty cool, you know. I like Surge. Who else is starring in it is Taylor Page, who, if you're not a huge fan of, you should be, because I'm absolutely obsessed with everything she does. I think she picks very good roles, and very pivotal roles for her career. And also Joseph Gordon-Levitt is returning. I mean, it's starring, so kudos to them. We don't actually know what this one's about, but that's fine. So let's make up a storyline. I would, because this is 40 in total years since Eddie Murphy originally starred as Axel Foley, I would say that he should be retired or head of the department, and his daughter is Taylor Page's character. Her partner is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't want to make them dating. I just feel that that's so expected, is to make them dating. I would like to make them partners, and maybe Taylor Page's character is so much opposite of her father. She's not a risk taker. She doesn't ruffle feathers. She's very on the book. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like the new version of what her dad was, who he comes to town and he's here to solve a crime or whatever, and he's paired up. Now, immediately he bonds with Eddie Murphy, with Axel Foley, because Axel sees himself in him, and he pairs him up with his daughter because he's like, you know, I want you to get my daughter sort of like out her shell and into the field and like solve this crime. And then he's like, you know what, I'm gonna tag along, and that's how you get the new trio. And in the midst of all of that, they visit because it's going to be a crime that includes, so it would have to be a crime from the past. Oh, maybe Joseph Gordon-Levitt is related to one of their old partners, the LA side. One of their old partners, maybe their old sergeant, he's the grandson or whatever, and he's here to like avenge his death or something. I don't know. There's no storyline, so I'm out here creating one, but either way, unless they do something totally off the wall, I feel like I would be here for any of the storylines. So that's what we know about Beverly Hills Cops 4. Moving right along. Okay, so I'm kind of sort of going in order in the way in which they were announced. So we're going to move right along to Candy Cane Lane. Candy Cane Lane, I am so excited about. If you want to know more about that, I have a whole thing about holiday movies that are coming out. So if you haven't seen that one, maybe check it out. But this one is super star-studded, from new to very seasoned and very accomplished. We have Danielle Pinnock in it, Tracy Ellis Ross, who is my auntie in my head, Jillian Bell, Janiyah Walton, Madison Thomas, Thaddeus Mixon, Nick Offerman, Robin Thede, and Chris Redd. It's directed by Reginald Hudlin and it's written by Kelly Younger. And although they're not giving details about the script, it's inspired by Younger's holiday experience. So what is up with people not giving some type of idea of what a movie's about? We tend to forget them anyway. So, like, why not have us, when we want to talk about it, be like, okay, this is what it's about, so you get people excited. That whole anonymity, secretness is, like, super Marvel and super played out. I'm going to just toss that one out there. So, like, yeah. But there is no release date or anything. However, they announced it late last year, so I'm assuming it's going to come out later this year. I'm hoping so. This one will be on Prime Video. So Axel Foley is going to be on Netflix, and this one's going to be on Prime Video. So there's that. Moving right along to the one that's rumored, but I think this is the one that everybody will be very excited about, and that's Eddie Murphy portraying George Clinton in an untitled biopic. Obviously, George Clinton's a part of Parliament Funkadelic, so you can't tell George Clinton's story without telling about Parliament. But I don't know if it's going to be a biopic about the entire group or it's going to focus on their lead man, and that is George Clinton. Anything that has George Clinton in, I grew up listening, like, I'm not that old, but my parents are. No shade, mommy and daddy. But they grew up on the vinyl, so I just have vivid memories of my mom playing Parliament Funkadelic on vinyl and just dancing, listening to it on this big old stereo. Kids these days will not know what it's like to have a stereo that is your height. So I was very young. I was a very short child. I'm a very short woman, so there's that. But very short, very little, very short child. So it was like this massive stereo that would just play music. And she loved playing Parliament Funkadelic, her and my dad. So, yeah, there's not any real news on it. It's still in the works. He did say that he met with George and he has the rights to tell his story and he's just looking for the right writer. I love when projects have people involved because it has an additional blessing. If telling George Clinton will be anything like Dolomite Is My Name, he's gonna knock it out the park. Okay, last but not least, because Eddie Murphy announced this one, or they announced this one more recently, and it's still not confirmed. Amazon. So Candy Cane Lane and this one I'm about to talk about will be for Prime Video. And this one's called The Pickup. So Amazon is in final negotiations to actually acquire it. And they're eyeing Eddie Murphy to star in it, although he's not fully attached. But Tim Story, the director, he is attached to direct it. So according to sources, The Pickup is a heist comedy in the vein of Bad Boys, and Eddie Murphy is portraying a man who becomes enamored with a woman and gets caught up in a heist attempt. I could see this. When they say Bad Boys, I'm assuming he's like maybe a cop. I'm thinking more of like Bad Boys 1, where there's a witness and they have to protect her at all costs type of thing. So he's a cop and he falls for a girl who ends up being the mark or something. I don't know, but I'm here for it. So these are the 4 Eddie Murphy projects: Axel Foley, or Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley, Candy Cane Lane, Untitled George Clinton Biopic, and The Pickup. Which are you most excited to see? Boom, 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 boom. Which are you most excited to see? Which one could you care less about? Or are you just happy that he's just doing work? Because Hollywood needs Eddie Murphy. Like, comedy, not too many comedians can do what Eddie Murphy can do. So